And as you can see, we have some new equipment here. That's always exciting. What do I have here? Well, I bought this used from a RC forum, a power supply plus the iCharger 406 Duo. Now this is not, it is for my bike, it's also not for my bike. It's for just lipos in general. I can't use it for my bike because my bike has two separate 24 volt packs, and this thing right here can do up to 30 volts, and this power supply right here can do up to 30 volts. This can go to a maximum of 50 amps, and I don't know what this one is. I don't know if it's quite 50, but 50 is a lot anyways. I would probably never be using that for anything. This is cool because it has adjustable voltage input. So with this knob here, I can turn it from anywhere between 15 volts to 30 volts, and this will accept anything from, I think, 15 volts to 30 volts. So just wanted to show you, here I have a sort of redesigned pack that I had for my camera. So I was going to plug it in and charge it, and what we can do here is with this iCharger we have two channels. So we have the left channel here where you can see there's an output and a balance lead, and then we have the second channel where we have the charging leads, and then the main charging leads, and then the balance port. So these are 6 cells each, so you can do 12 cells total, but you can do 6 cells like independently. You can't do 12 cells at once, but you can do 6 cells separately, so it's kind of like at once, but you have to separate the packs out. So what I really like about this is the informational display we have here. So I'm going to bring you guys in on this a little bit more and maybe turn down the light a little bit. There we go. So right now I have this pack here. I have this pack here connected with just some alligator clips going to the main charging leads here, right over here. And I have the balance lead I created for it, which is just 2 cells plus negative, and we can pop that into here. As we plug that in, we can see that the 2 cells in here are 3.58 and 3.57 respectively, and the total voltage coming out of the pack is up here displayed at 7.165 volts. So that's cool. Now some information we have on here is we have total voltage of the pack, we have the cells from 1 to 6, we have again the cell pack, and we have the difference, I think, between the cells. So they're 9 millivolts apart from each other. We have the input voltage from our power source, which is 26.17 at 0 amps and 0 amp hours, and I guess the internal temperature of this is 38.7. Also to note on the front here, we have temperature gauges 1 and 2, which I didn't get leads for, but I don't really think I'll be using those for much. On the side of the power supply, we have these two main leads here. Now anything that's plugged into these two here can go up to 50 amps. And there's also 3 more ports on the side that you can kind of see here, here, and here. Those are 10 amp output ports. Technically, most of my charging will be, around 10 amps. What we're gonna do is I'm going to hit, this is the keeping itself cool, I guess, even though there's no, anyways. So I'm going to click the middle button, and from here, we can see we're on channel 2, and we can see we have LiPo, Life, nickel metal hydride, NiCad, PB, NIZM, LiPo. And in here we have charge, storage, discharge, cycle, and balance only. So this pack is pretty much depleted. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 cells in parallel and 2 in series. So we have a maximum here of 8.4 volts on the lithium ion here. So I'm going to say charge, then we can choose charge, tab. Oh wait, I think I screwed this up. Oh sorry, yeah, I did screw that up. Sorry guys. LiPo, and then if we hit tab, we can go down to manage. And if we hit edit, we can say that for program charge, cells are auto-detecting. The capacity is ignore, because you can actually set a capacity in milliamp hours, but we don't really need to do that. If we go to option, say asynchronous mode, run counter, 170, log interval, and you can log things to an SD card if you like. And go back, and then we're gonna go back. So under the charge, if we click on charge now, we can see the LiFo capacity ignore, cells ignore. Then we have the current at 10 amp, right now at 10 amps, but we can set this all the way to 40 amps, and we would cook these cells pretty quick at that. And then we have, I'm gonna set this to, there's 3 cells here, so unified dew point, so I'm gonna go with 3.5 amps. .5 amp. And then we have the charge mode, which is normal balance. So this thing I think is always set up to basically, when in charge mode, to balance also once it hits that 80%. So we have a slow balance, we have a normal balance, and we have a fast balance. I'm just gonna leave it on normal balance, and I'm gonna say start. And it's gonna ask me, do you want to start? Yeah. So hit go. So right now, as you can see, after we hit the start, we have the little red light flashing here, which indicates charge. We have the current voltage of the pack, which is 8.8, and we have the current being drawn, which is 3.37, so close enough to 3.5. And then we have our individual cells creeping up here in voltage. We have the pack voltage and how far apart they are in balancing. Then what we can do is there's a status button here. If we hit that, we can go to the next and we can measure the ohms resistance of each pack. So those are about the same. And then we have, if we hit it again, we can see the power coming in. The end voltage is 4.2 per cell. The cutoff low voltage is 10 volts. There's no safety timer. Maximum temperature cutoff is 45. And that's pretty much it. So this is pretty cool. It's gonna be very efficient for charging my e-bike, because those are 30 amp hour. It's a total of 30 amp hours. So I can set the charge even if I do half a C. I mean, 10 amps is even pretty low to charge that. So should be able to charge my e-bike in a couple of hours fully. The only crappy thing is that I have to basically charge them separately. I don't have a voltage, a 48 volt charging system for that yet. But I don't know. I don't really mind with this thing. I was thinking about buying a 48 volt charger, but obviously I won't be able to balance it because I don't have a BMS on that pack. So I intend to balance charge it with this. And if it becomes a pain in the ass, we'll get a charger. We'll get a different charger. But I like this setup right now. It gives me the flexibility to do the bike and some of the other stuff. And what we'll do is we will let this run. Then 3 minutes. I'll check in with you guys later. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.